before we get started on this episode of the Top 4 podcast, I think it's best just to do a little disclaimer. I'm going to try my best to keep my top on throughout this recording, but fuck me. I know you don't come here for the weather, but it is hot.
I thought everyone came here for the weather these days.
If you watch this on YouTube, you can see how much I'm sweating. And Nate's doing well as well, to be honest.
Says he's got no pants on.
I'm so bright red on the screen, like the reddest bit.
If Tez stands up, he's got absolutely no bottoms on, so keep him sitting.
But yeah, first podcast after the Euro 2020. So we missed out on loads of football. We're not going to talk anything about England or Italy. Definitely not fucking Italy.
I've had enough of talking about England. Enough.
Exactly. I've had enough. Honestly, it gets boring talking about winning. So let's talk about what's been going on in the world of football. So this episode, we're all going to talk about something that's been, on our minds, or that we've noticed in the headlines and thought that's something we should talk about on the podcast. But we can't because Tez just wants to talk about England. But now this is the chance to talk about it. I think, Nath, you were itching to go today and talk about something in particular.
Yeah, so there's a load of rumours flying around at the moment. FIFA trialing out sort of like new rules in football. Talk about maybe doing, instead of having the 45-minute halves, go for half hour instead. When the ball goes out of play, of course, stopping the time. I don't know what there is to gain in that. Do you mean? Like, the rules of football have been around for quite a lot of years now, and football's still the most popular sport on earth. I don't know why you'd want to tamper with it. So I didn't see like what your thoughts were. I'm assuming you guys have probably all seen the rumours flying around, and there's pretty strong links to it all. So has anyone got like any sort of opinions on that today?
Yeah, I mean, just to clarify, because I think I sent this to the group, like the screenshot of the tweet I saw. But the total changes are 30 minutes a half. Game clock stops when the ball goes out of play. Unlimited subs. Throw-ins played with feet. So feet-ins.
I didn't know that.
Foot-ins. And a 5-minute suspension for yellow cards. They want to bring in a sim bin. Like ruggers. Like rugby.
That's ridiculous. It sounds like it's getting very American footballized, doesn't it?
The only thing I think I would like to see is potentially unlimited subs and the game clock stops when the ball goes out of play. I think those are the only two which I think straight away it's like I can see why people think that maybe.
Not fair on the smaller teams. They're like when you got teams like Man City, you've got like one of the best benches in world football. It's got like they're pumping out players like they can have like Mahrez coming off the bench. Then you got like other teams, just gonna be struggling against that. People have come up for like the Championship and the Prem. During the players are probably like old. Obviously, it's quite good for the older players. I just think, unlimited subs, just that's a no from me. Yeah. Just stick to what we know. Do you know what I mean? It's one of the most popular sports in the world.
We seem to sort of start leaking in, didn't we, when the Super League was being mentioned. I remember seeing a few things about making it half-hour halves instead. And it, like you said, it is being sort of Americanized. I think they're just trying to make the game faster, snappier. But if it was up to me, I wouldn't change anything. There's nothing broken with the way football is in the terms of the actual rules. Maybe the handball rule, etc., which they're obviously not talking about. But yeah, definitely not the sub thing. That would ruin the game. I guess when the ball goes out and it stops, I won't be the biggest deal. But no, I'm well against it. I don't know why people are just trying to fix something that's not broken.
Well, I don't know what difference the throw-ins bring either.
Yeah, like it's like having a corner from anywhere, isn't it? You can I'm assuming you don't have to just tap it. You can fucking whap that into the box, like someone getting their head on it from like a throw-in.
I'm sure it's blokes that just don't watch football, play football. They just think that's a good idea to change that to that.
It's probably like loads of American influence, isn't it?
It's probably the Glazers. It's probably the Glazers.
Yeah,
So might be unpopular opinion. I'm kind of open to the suspension after a yellow card because there's a lot of sports, right? I'm a big hockey fan. If you commit a penalty, you're either 2 minutes in the box or it's a misconduct. Rugby, you got the sim bin. I just think that would change the whole dynamic of a game. Like, and obviously people they get like some fullbacks and stuff. They'll get yellow cards on purpose just to stop a run of play or something. But if it's 85 minutes, it's 1-1. they're going to be a little bit more tentative about purposely getting a yellow card because then going to be a man down. I think any longer than 5 minutes, maybe a bit too long, but like I just really, I can imagine like a 1-1 Champions League final, 5 minutes to play and someone gets a yellow card. I mean, that'd be peak.
Yeah. No, but to be fair, I think that's a good shout, actually. It, like I said, change the pace of the game. It is interesting. Not all for it, but if that was a rule change that came in, I could deal with that.
Yeah, I think the 5 minutes sin bin would be class. I think it adds a different dynamic to the game. But would it make the game really soft? I don't know. Would it make people reluctant to make tackles? That's my worry. I'd also worry that potentially, I don't understand why the ball going out of play doesn't already exist. Like, I don't know why I don't know how that would affect the game if that wasn't already. And yeah, the kicking in, I think the thought process is that you could quickly like play the ball back in and just like get back on with the game. But I actually think it would work the other way around as well in times. Like, you imagine, Stoke. I know they got the throw-ins, but just going route one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You win a throw-in and you're well, it wouldn't be called a throw-in anymore. Whatever, a kick-in.
A deep corner, basically.
Give someone an absolute kick-in.
Exactly, and then you just get your keeper to hoof it up to like the biggest player. Do you know what I mean? That would change the game and not for good. And half an hour, the only thing I can think with half an hour is whether they would try and they want to make it. It'd be 2 30 minutes, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be 3.
Yeah, 2 30 minutes.
Well, I think it would end up becoming 3 at some point. I think they'd start at 2 and then they'd make it 3 and then they just make the more money off the adverts. And that's what you were saying, Nath, about the American sort of style of it, having an extra break for the adverts.
But the thing is, though, like football in itself, like I'm comparing it to the American sports, like Nate said, but the same with the suspensions and stuff. A lot of American sports are 60 minutes long, with obviously all the quarters and the thirds and whatever. But it's a different pace. Like, I can see why ice hockey games are 60 minutes long, because this is so high intensity and like they can be such high scoring games. Whereas football is a bit more like not timid, but it's a different dynamic. So I think it needs that little bit longer to get, like, just to get the game going. So, I mean, sometimes teams take 20, 30 minutes even to get into the game and they suss each other out and stuff. And then, do you know what I mean? Like, it would just be weird to chop off 30 minutes of a football game.
Yeah, it'd be horrible. It's the last round, everyone. Don't ruin football. That's the moral of the story.
I'd like to know why this even came into place, though. Like,
it's just come out of nowhere.
It's not like I don't think it's a fan thing. So where there's some bloke at the top of FIFA's being like, I fancy a change.
I read an article like 2 years ago, like maybe, and I think the idea of the kick-ins has come, or at least Arsene Wenger backs it. Because I remember reading an article that he actually brought it up, and he has a role within FIFA or UEFA now. So I think that's come from him or someone that he works with. I remember him bringing up in an interview after he left Arsenal, and I was just like, that's bonkers. So he's obviously thinking he could quickly play the ball back in and play good football. But then, like I said, the argument would be that unless they did like kick-ins, but you can't kick it like. I don't know.
Like five-a-side rules, not above the hip. Keep it on the floor, please, pal.
You'll give you all right then.
You'd be fucked.
The fake laugh.
Funny you are, boys.
I feel like you've hurt his feelings now. Right.
Don't like it. Don't like that.
So what's the verdict then, boys? Yay or nay then? Tonight, if it was a genuine thing.
Nah.
I'm yay to some of them and nay to most of them.
Yeah, I'm yay to the clock thing. I don't know why that isn't a thing. That just seems like that makes a lot of sense.
Clock stoppages.
Then the sin bin, that would be cool.
I'd love to see that coming. I think it'd be well.
I would hate to lose tackles. Do you know what I mean? Like people start worrying too much. But then I think, you know, it would take away people just being like, oh, just, you know, when someone's running through on goal and they just like take the yellow.
I hope
might get rid of that.
I hope like the sin bin area, wherever it is like in with the fans. Do you know what I mean, like hockey, because people like climb over the fucking thing and launch things at them.
That's the last thing we need is more violence in football towards players. Like, there's a lot of shit going on at the moment. And that's the last thing we fucking need. Like,
it's banter though, isn't it? You know what I mean? If someone from the opposition has got the sin bin and they can see you, you're just like, oh, yeah, that. Fuck off. I mean,
maybe if like we talk about this whole like yellow card and you get a 5-minute suspension. Maybe if like the refs weren't so soft, especially in the Prem, do you mean, and things like that. If they let a bit of the ball, like, you know, what we saw in the Euros, I don't know. It's less softer refs, really, isn't it? That's what we need. Let's let the game play a little bit more to be so soft for yellows.
Where are they trialing this?
There's been no other information. It's just FIFA thinking about it.
Speculation.
You know what I mean? I think
this might all just be one big theoretical conversation, to be honest. It might not, you know, this could be absolute bullshit, to be fair. We're just talking about it on a podcast and people listening, hopefully.
Yeah.
Or in 20 years, people will listen back to this and be like, these guys were fucking ahead of the game.
That time, yeah.
Exactly. So we're all pretty agreed on, well, me and Jack won a couple of them. Pash is like, nah.
Don't change my football. No.
I like the yellow card thing, but I love football as it is, and I want to keep it the same. Like I said, I can live with the yellow card sin bin thing, but if the refs are stop being so fucking soft, really.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's been a lot of transfers and stuff anyways that's kind of happened so far, and I think obviously we'll get into those in a lot more detail in the next coming weeks, but I just can't help but think that PSG are being ruthless this summer and are not giving a fuck about any finances. They're just getting who they want. They've signed like 6 or 7 players already this summer. They haven't offloaded any. They now have 9 goalkeepers in their squad.
Stacked. Absolutely stacked.
Yeah, but surely Navas will go.
Apparently he's not.
I just feel PSG, they do make, you know, good signings, but they never sign the right players. They obviously need a more solid midfield, don't they?
This is the thing, right? I think they've made the signings now this summer this summer, sorry, and I look at them and I'm like, so they've signed that Hakimi from the Serie A. Is it Inter or AC? Did he play for? Inter. That 22-year-old right back was absolutely mint. And then they signed a guy called Danilo, who's a defensive midfielder from Porto. I don't know too much about him. They signed Donnarumma, Wijnaldum, and
both on a free as well.
Of course.
What about Wijnaldum?
The biggest shit house.
Big Sergio Ramos.
Oh shit! Okay,
he's the one who could maybe carry them over the line to the Champions League.
So I'm saying, right? If you add those to the already decent team that they've got, I think they could be making some moves this season and potentially with a shout for finally getting that Champions League.
Yeah, I generally at the moment looking at the way that team was stacking up. Champions League should be a piece of piss from next season because they got like one of the best attacking 4 in Europe anyway, obviously with Mbappe, Neymar, Di Maria, and I've just gone completely blank.
What's the crack with Mbappe? Is he a free agent? Is it next summer?
Next summer, yeah. It's huge speculation about him.
Imagine losing him on a free, because I think his Real Madrid is in his heart. So hopefully, you know, they think they want to win the Champions League this season with him. I could see Pogba going there. I don't know if it'll be this summer or next, but I think he'll be class there. He'll just eat up the French league, and then I think he could be a big piece of the puzzle missing in the midfield. I don't think
they would have signed Wijnaldum and Pogba though.
That's the thing. It might be next season on a free. They love a free, don't they? Yeah. PSG.
I've got to be honest. I'm not like they've got some good players there, and Donnarumma is obviously a world-class keeper, but.
Obviously,
Navas is a world-class keeper. I don't know how much is he going to get him that many more points? Like Navas is like
he's good, isn't he?
World-class as well. So I'm like, it's an upgrade, definitely due to age, but you know, Is it anything else?
I think that's one for the future as well. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I think PSG are always that team. They are just going to crumble under pressure. A bit like a Man City. They haven't proven themselves yet. But you never know. Ramos could be sort of that thing that sort of keeps them together. A bit of match experience to sort of coach them through it.
I agree, but like, they got Thiago. They had Thiago Silva. They didn't really win. They've had good defenders.
Yeah, but he didn't win the Champions League before Chelsea.
I know, but I'm saying Ramos is a bit older now than Thiago Silva was in his peak.
I still think that Ramos is better than Thiago.
Yeah, I'd say that as well.
One thing that I'd seen, and I actually seen it today, and I was going to mention it to Nate, but the reason why I didn't was because I wanted to bring it up on the podcast. Was that, have you seen the Jordan Henderson stuff?
Well, yeah, like I saw something about like I saw one thing the other day when it was saying that he's going to finish his career at Liverpool. They're going to offer him a new deal, and then I saw something else saying that he might be going. I was like,
because the reason why I bring it up now is because PSG. Sorry, PSG are linked with him. This summer because Liverpool have prioritised other key players over Henderson, and I've seen it today, and it's the Athletic are reporting it, good magazine. But yeah, that would like just an interesting little side story, and I just didn't see it coming, and I saw it today, and I was like,
I'd be very surprised if that happens.
Yeah, same. Like I said, I was reading reports the other day, like on loads of like Liverpool pages and things like that. Obviously, you can't trust everything you read on the internet these days, as everyone knows. But yeah, it was loads of heavy links as well, saying that they're offering him a new deal. He's going to stay there now and he's going to finish his career at Liverpool until he retires. Yeah, I can't. Do you mean like he's come in after Steven Gerrard became captain, gone for absolute ridicule, and then gone on to win like some of the biggest trophies in world football. So,
yeah. But I can't see him going. Falling out of Klopp. That's what they're reporting.
Klopp didn't give enough. Klopp didn't give enough hugs
because they've prioritised Alisson and Van Dijk and Fabinho, and like Henderson is still like just not been offered like a good contract. It's just something that I just wanted to hear your initial thoughts on it, Nate, as a massive Liverpool fan and maybe even bigger Henderson fan.
I do like Hendo. Yeah, big guy. He didn't win the Euros, as I've made clear, but it is what it is.
The thing is with PSG. Sorry, Pashko.
No, I was go on, Karen. PSG, go
on. Like I feel like that they've always relied on the talent within their team. Like they've made the signings of just like the best skilled players in the world, but they've never really linked up together, apart from, Neymar and Mbappe doing some bits and some solo Di Maria magic. Like it feels as if they haven't got like a style of football yet. They just go out and hope for the best. But like, I feel like this season now with these signings, I think that's what they're trying to do. Like younger players, maybe they may hoping to try and get to the Champions League final this year. They might, if they win a class, but I imagine that this is like a building season again. They've got all the new players now, right?
Pochettino is, I think, the main thing about that.
He's going to say now, right, this is the style of football we're going to play. If it doesn't happen this year, whatever. But the season after, I reckon they're going to be one of the best. Well, probably the best team.
Yeah, PSG has always reminded me of that kid that buys all the packs on FIFA and he's got all the best players, but just can't play.
All the gear, no idea.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I mean.
I think that's why. Yeah, I trust in Poch. I think he is trying to build something great there. And
I think that Spursy curse is still with him, to be honest. I don't think he's doing
make PSG great again. Like
if they give him the time, because like they got rid of Tuchel pretty quick, and like Tuchel's shown how great of a manager he is. So they need to give Poch enough time now, because you've seen the rumours about him going back to Tottenham, which always seemed unbelievable.
Yeah,
it sounded like he might have wanted to go, and they said no. We don't really know exactly what's happened, but I'd have been disappointed if he'd gone. It would have looked to me like the easy way out. I think he is, for me, you've listed all these players they've signed, great players, but he is their biggest asset, 100%. Because you saw what he did with a good Tottenham team, but we also seen how not world class that Tottenham team became after.
Yeah.
So like with all these players now he's got,
I think the problem with the PSG is the personalities in the changing room. Tuchel said it. I know Emery said it as well. Neymar, Mbappe, they're sort of big personalities. They're hard to manage, and if you fall on the wrong side of them, they can easily turn the dressing room against you. They've got crazy player power. But I think Poch is such a likable guy. He's charismatic as well. I think, he could be the one to sort of, get them all together, rallying really.
I also think he might just. It's difficult because of how COVID has affected a lot of the teams, but to me, he doesn't seem like the sort of person who's scared to sell one of those big players.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather sell Neymar than Mbappe, but
Yeah.
it looks like Mbappe's probably got more value than Neymar, obviously. So it's difficult.
Well, he might if he's good for free.
He'll go to free next season. Like he's already made it clear that he doesn't want to stay there. But how many players do that and then they turn around doing? But yeah, the biggest links for Mbappe in it is Liverpool and Real Madrid. Just depends if Liverpool would actually fork out his wages. You'd have to pay him like 400k a week easy.
Definitely not going to Liverpool.
Don't be like that.
He's not, is he? He's not coming to Man U either. Don't worry.
Yeah, because he's not been linked to Man U. Like, do you mean? He's been linked to Liverpool now.
I think
he's going right out.
I think he's either staying or he goes Madrid. I think there's nowhere else really.
Yeah, I think so.
I wanted to ask you, lad. Obviously, I hate to remind Tez of the horrible failure that's just happened, but as a whole, if you ask as a whole, the Euros was fantastic, and it was some of the best games. Think back to sort of like a lot of the Spanish games, high scoring,
England, Scotland,
end to end. Yeah, England and Scotland. And I think one of the main reasons was the way VAR and the refs actually facilitated the game. They didn't sort of care about the little niggles, and they just carried the game going on. And also, they didn't go to VAR and get the rulers out for offsides, etc. And I think that was a big reason why the games are so good. And there is pressure now from the Premier League to sort of introduce the same style, but I can't see it happening really. Do you think the Premier League is going to follow suit?
I hope they do. Let's be fair. Looking at that, like I said, with that tournament, how fantastic the rest were. I'd say fantastic in some games, like the Wales games where we got absolutely butt fucked in 2 of them, red cards. Bit harsh on there, but like every other game that I watched, the rest were fantastic. Then the gameplay. So when I was saying earlier about refs being soft, like they seem to let a lot more go. At the end of the day, it's a physical game. You can't just be stopping every single time someone gets nudged on the floor like they do quite often in the Prem these days. Checking everything on VAR, like the flow of the games are way better in the Europa League, and same with the Champions League as well. It's just UEFA seem to do much better than what the Premier League refs have been doing.
The red cards in the Euros was only the little one. I don't know if I'm a bit more butthurt because obviously Wales, young player, he got a red card for sort of standing on the foot. But I think they were quite consistent. I think they were definitely briefed before it and saying this type of challenge is a straight red. So at least they're consistent on that end.
Well, were they?
No, because didn't Cal Walker do it like a game later?
There was at least 3 other occasions where if Ampadu got sent off.
Yeah, but it was coming home.
They should have got sent off as well. Can't remember who they were exactly, but there were numerous occasions. That's the only thing that comes to mind, though.
But Harry Wilson got sent off for a body check as well, didn't he?
Yeah,
coming a bit feisty from behind. But come on.
I mean, the Premier League should take a line out of the book, though, 100%. I mean, obviously, when you go to VAR and stuff, I think a lot of the times in the Premier League, it's clear what the decision should be, and in no way, shape, or form are we professionals, and we know what actually goes into making a call. But I felt like in the Euros, it was a lot more clear cut. Like a lot of the time, the decisions went the way that the fans were expecting, apart from the little fuck ups or whatever. But with Premier League, I feel like when you watch VAR, you just don't fucking know.
Yeah, the offsides mainly when they take so long and they get the lines out. They didn't do any of that in the Euros, from what I can remember, did they?
No, I don't think so.
And it was just it didn't basically show up on screen, so it wasn't a big outroar. They just basically made a snap decision. It was like, yeah, offside, not onside, and I think that's the way it should be. It's so many goals last season. Sometimes it's works in favour for your team, but so many goals you're like, we've been let off there. That shouldn't be offside. We're talking about like hairs on your knees.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we could talk about VAR again all day, I think. But I mean, I haven't seen anything about it, but I'm expecting that they've made some changes again to it this season. Like they must have. Like, there was so much backlash last season from a couple of games. There's a few occasions that's coming to mind, but I think it's impossible for that to happen. See the backlash and them not do anything. So we'll know 2 or 3 months into the season whether it's actually changed or not. Because if it stays the same, there's going to be some.
You don't think that's crazy though? So I think it's crazy we have to wait till the season starts. It should be like set out before we even begin.
Yeah, it gives
and
a
then
bit
it's
of a
almost
preview.
like then we don't even know what's really happening until like. And then you hear it on a commentary. Oh, the refs had a meeting at the beginning of the season and decided this, but they never told anyone.
It's same happened with the ball to hand and the handball rule. At the start of the season, so many handballs, wasn't there? So many pens, and they were and the ref commentary was saying, "Oh yeah, they decided on it at the start of the season. We didn't know." And then they changed it halfway through the season, and it was just something like, "Oh yeah, they just had another meeting." So you don't really hear much about it. You just sort of hear it through the commentary a lot of the time. But I guess at least they were flexible. I know it took them a while. At least they were flexible halfway through the season. They did alter it because it did make the game better.
Yeah, how many teams got like done over at the beginning of the season because of it, innit? So it's like it's quite unfair. Really. They should have stuck with it till the end of the season, then change at the end. To be fair,
Facts.
I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair at all on some of the teams who did get done over.
Even if it's wrong, you can't. Do you know what I mean? You can't change the rules mid-season because then you start looking at the fixture list and say, so and so had an easier game against whatever, and it went against them, and then they played against. Do you know what I mean? It's just it gets tricky if you start changing the rules mid-season. Sorry. Because it's meant to be an even playing field, isn't it? Especially when you get the case where like some teams maybe have only played 15 games, while others have played like 18, and then you're like, we're going to change the rules. You're like, wait a minute, these guys have got 3 more games with the rules like this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people they moaned, didn't they, when they started letting fans back in the stadium? They're like, "Oh, well, we played away, and then like we played at home, we didn't have nothing, and now we're going away, and then they've got their fans. It's not really fair."
Yeah, very similar.
Anything to follow up on it?
I was waiting for Pash to say something else, and he just took a swipe from his water.
I'm struggling here. If you see my face, it's shining.
Mate, you look pretty chill, like, to be fair.
You glow in.
Oh, bro, I got a nice tan on me, but I am literally streaming down my body.
I had a few things I wanted to talk about today.
Glowing.
But I feel like they all, because all my points are so valid, they're all like due a whole episode to themselves. But one thing I'm going to have to bring up, just because I just think it's interesting and I want to hear all of our views. Rafa Benitez, Everton. It's one of the weirdest things. Like when I seen his interview and he's in an Everton tracksuit, and I'm thinking they could actually do something. But then I'm like, it's Benitez at Everton. It's so weird to see, and it's also Everton, the most bang average club in the Premier League.
It's a difficult club.
Of mediocre.
It's a difficult club to manage, isn't it?
Mediocre.
Everton, I think. Yeah, it's just hard to get them out of.
Have you seen who they've signed? Seen who they're about to sign? They've signed 3 players. They got Ashmir Begovic as backup keeper.
That. Yeah,
as backup keeper. Damari Gray, who has the potential, but he's now 25. He's not a 19-year-old. Like he was.
I didn't know that. I thought he was still like 21 odd.
And then Andros Townsend.
Have they?
It's apparently like these are not confirmed, so I'm sorry if it's wrong.
Then.
These are literally about to be confirmed. And Andros Townsend is like proper, like, because I think there've been a few hints on TalkSport that Andros has been doing, and it's just like that's like there's such an Everton signing. Like it just screams of a Iwobi, Walcott, like all these players, and I'm just like, what is? I know Walcott's not there anymore, but I'm just like they're the sort of signings, and I'm just like, I just want to see your point of view. Do you think Benitez is going to like what? Firstly, what would be a success at Benitez for Everton? I think
top 6.
Keep it top 8. I think that'd be success for them.
Yeah, I think like Europa League.
It's difficult. Yeah. Europa League that's a great success for them.
Or Europa Conference, whatever it is now.
But I think one thing Benitez does bring is organisation, doesn't he? So he is going to bring that. I think you have a good foundation. I can't see him, doing any madness. We thought Ancelotti was going to be doing madness. They started off quite well, but Everton, they're just a club. They're just difficult to manage, and it's always a year or two, and then it goes tits up really, and just becomes a bit boring again. I think he would balance them out, but I can't see anything. I can't see any like little trophies winning or anything like that.
I still think they're going to be bang average. I really do. I don't think we're going to see any difference in Everton this season.
Considering they spent was there like a 2-week period at the top at the beginning of the season, and everyone thought they were going to do bits. They end up becoming
September,
10th.
yeah.
I mean,
So did Southampton.
September, like.
So does Southampton.
Yeah, I actually thought Southampton were going to do really well last season, and then they just absolutely dropped off.
They went absolute dog shit for the rest of the season.
Yeah, crazy.
The thing is about Rafa, right? Obviously, when was the last English Cup? It was in Newcastle.
Yeah, last time in Prem anyway.
Like, I don't know if he's getting on a bit now. He must be like late 50s, early 60s.
I think he's 61.
That's a very particular number you put at the back there.
Like he's 61 in 6 months.
Yeah. Don't bring shit up on the podcast and not do my research.
60 in 6 months.
I mean, does he still have it? Everton fans, I imagine, like you said, they want to get top 6. He hasn't been in the Premier League for what, 2-3 years? I think he went China or something. I just think he's gonna it's not the same Rafa, or it's certainly going to take him a while to get back into it, or even remember what the decisions he made and stuff. I know it's totally different now because it's Everton, but I don't know, man. To remain at this level of manager, you need to stick at it and always be at top clubs, I reckon. So obviously he went to Madrid for a bit. He's in Madrid. Obviously, big stint with Liverpool. I don't know, man. I just can't see it working, to be honest.
He's not at a big club. Well, he doesn't need to be at it's not like he's gone to United. He's at he doesn't need to win the league or get top 4 even to be a success.
All he needs to do is he needs to just be in the top 10, doesn't he?
If he gets top 10 and wins, top 8 wins a cup, they make a fucking statue out of him.
Right. Yeah, well, they haven't had a cup since 1995, have they?
Yeah.
So it's in 26 years, right?
No, man, there's just something iffy about it. I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me at all.
He's done it because that's where since he managed Liverpool, his family have lived there. So I sit from a career point of view, and like you say, he's getting on. Well, you may as well manage in your hometown there. No fucking travel for work. If you can go to your family at the end of the day, you can't fault him. Do you mean he's like I said, if he gives them 8, for example, that's a great result. At the end of the day. But they've got decent players these days, Everton. Do you mean they can do well, and they proved at the beginning of last season. It's just I think the discipline wasn't there.
I think if they get a win against Liverpool, the fans will be bouncing and be like, "Oh, we love him." One win.
You'd have a fucking statue that said 100% that we beat Liverpool in the 21-22 season. Good memories.
So
it won't happen ever.
Based on that, what's our verdict then? He's not going to do much. He'll be gone within a season or 2.
Finish above Arsenal. It's not.
I reckon he'll stay there a couple of seasons.
Let's not mention Arsenal.
I don't know.
Sorry, Nath.
Go on.
I was just going to say we don't need to mention Arsenal because that's 4 episodes worth of content we've got right there. We can save that for another day.
I reckon Benitez will be gone by end of season.
Dragon, big call. I reckon he'll do a couple of seasons there. He'll just said mediocre time, won't really do much. Maybe get to 8th, 7th, and that'll be it.
I reckon
the Conference League maybe.
Christmas time, right? Everton are going to be 15th or 16th. Watch this space, right? I'm calling it. They're going to be, 3/4 down that table.
I think they finish anywhere between 9th and 12th. I think.
I think they'll probably finish about where they are now, 10th. But I don't know. See them go further down. Got teams like Crystal Palace down there, Brighton.
I think they'll get top 10.
Yeah.
How poor some of the other teams are, but we can talk about the other teams another time. So getting to the end, I told the boys at the beginning I had a little surprise. I've bigged it up hugely. They're not getting any presents. So we were originally going to talk about transfers talk. And as a result, I did do a little quiz for the 3 other lads. And also the listeners at home can have a little game now. So I've got a few profiles up from Wikipedia, maybe. Other information databases are available. I don't know. Anyway, and I'm going to read off the clubs and some of the years, and you have to guess who the player is. Okay.
Sweating my tits off here. I feel like I'm on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I'm like,
I'm gonna start off.
The call a friend.
I reckon we need to go for a call out because I said we could all have each go, but I know that some of you are going to be proper struggling in some rounds and you're just going to copy. So we're going to have to do a call out each time. I'm going to start off super easy. You only got 5 questions. And remember, if you listen at home, play along. You're obviously listening with your whole family around the fucking dinner table right now as you listen to the Top 4 podcast. So get your pen and paper out. All right? Are
we allowed to take notes?
Into this. Pardon?
Are we allowed to take notes?
Of course you can. Yeah, you might. I hope you do. I'm not writing it down for you.
Yeah, how long is this going to be? I got on my teeth soon, like, come on.
And I made some quiz music earlier. I'm joking. I did it.
Beat some nice beats, like.
Says his own jingle, like.
The top 4.
I thought that was Simpsons
quiz.
Then.
The top 4 podcast quiz. I'm not going to do that again. Every time I do that, it's going to be a different.
I think I've got a heat stroke. I don't know what's going on. Like.
Oh, I'm sweating. I'm regretting this now. I wish we wrapped it up already. But so first one, easy one. This is like an example question, but we'll count it as well. So I'm going to pick different parts of their sort of career, but I will make sure I give the years.
So it's not in order.
It's not in chronological order.
It depends how I word it. I might put it in order sometimes.
Just start reading them off.
So, right.
God, we haven't got all day.
In the 2000, so you got to name the player once you know it is. 2004 to 2006 season, this player scored 23 goals in 70 games for Juventus. In the 2006 to 2009 season, this player scored 57 goals in 88 games for Inter Milan. In the 2009 to 2011, he scored 16 goals in 29 games.
For who? For who?
Then who's? I thought I was waiting for people to shout out the answer. And then he had a loan spell, 2010 to 2011.
It's Zlatan.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice.
That's going to be the easy. That's going to be the easy one.
No, but I was so sweating so much. When they say, "Oh, this is just a first question's really easy, just a little warm up," I was like,
"No, I'm like I couldn't even think of any football players. I hate the pressure. I can't stand it."
Make my brain goes. I got the shittest memory ever. Anyway,
I'm fucking.
And I was there thinking
this is a big witch hunt for me. It is.
I was thinking of like Tony fucking Yeboah.
Oh, right. We're going to keep going because this episode has been way too long. Right.
I'm sweating there.
So I'm going to do this one in order because it's going to be a bit more difficult. Fuck it out. You guys get this. Right. 1996 to 2000. This player played for Norwich City and scored 32 goals in 84 games. In the 2000 to 2001 for Coventry, he scored 6 goals in 34 games. 2001 to 2005, he scored 28 goals in 93 games for Newcastle United. He had a loan spell at Celtic and scored 7 goals in 12 games in 2005. In the 2005 to 2006 season, he scored 13 goals in 27 games for Blackburn Rovers. So if you look at the stats, he knows where the goal is. Then 2006 to 2007 season, he scored 7 goals in 27 games for Liverpool. Then in the from 2007,
it's not. I literally haven't been writing the notes down. It's not Andy Carroll, is it? No.
It's true.
All I heard was Newcastle, Liverpool. I was like, Andy Carroll.
In the 2007 to 2009 season.
So 2007 to 2009.
That was Liverpool, was it? Or was it Liverpool?
No, sorry. 2006 2007 was his Liverpool spell. And then 2007 to 2009, he scored 7 goals in 24 games for West Ham. He then scored 12 goals in 40 games for Man City from 2009 to 2011.
It's not James Milner, is it?
No.
96.
I can't even hear the years he's saying. I was fucking reeling off players.
And then in the 2010 to 2011 season, he scored 11 goals in 35 games when he had a loan spell at Cardiff City.
Oh,
Bellamy.
Yeah, I'm so glad, Yoki, mate. I'm so glad you got it over Pash because I didn't know he had 3 goals.
As soon as you said Cardiff, that's what I was trying to think. I was like, oh, wait,
I'm not making notes. All I hear is 2 clubs. I'm like, who plays for those 2 clubs? James Milner.
Lads,
I was thinking it was Bellamy.
Do you know what the worst thing is though? Ted's basically fucking loves football quizzes like this. This is his bread and butter. So he's having a wicked time. And us for free are like.
This is
I thought it was Bellamy, but I waited for Cardiff, and if you said Cardiff, I was gonna
I gotta be honest.
Yeah. I do it well. I was just waiting a couple more.
Right, come on, then 1 each, and Pash, just go.
I'm fucking worried about the last 3. I ain't gonna
let's
just do one more. Come on, do the hardest one.
Someone's been a sore loser.
I said do the hardest one. 5 points on this one.
No, I'm doing all of them. I didn't fucking do them.
I can have my food.
Right. So this is not the beginning of his career. This is the only bit you're going to know, guys are going to know. 2005 to 2007, this player played for West Ham, scoring 8 goals in 63 games.
Dean Ashton.
In the 2007 to 2010, he scored 18 goals in 92 games for Liverpool.
How many goals?
18 goals in 92 games.
I was going to say Mascherano, but you want to score that many?
92.
No.
Fuck me.
He then scored 1 goal in 14 games for Chelsea, 2010 to 2013. He had a loan spell at Arsenal in the 2011 to 2012 season, scoring 4 goals in 19 games. And he had another loan spell in 2012 at West Ham, scoring 0 goals in 6 games. He then played the 2013-2014 season at QPR.
It's a tough one, this is.
I'm going to go to the next one, but I feel like the moment I say this will give it away. The 2014 to 2016 season, he scored 11 goals in 55 games at Maccabi Haifa.
Oh yeah, fucking gave
How was that giving it away?
Because if you know what country that is, then it narrows it down.
No, I don't.
Maccabi Haifa. I never even fucking did that place.
Is it that? I don't know his name. He's ugly though. Is he ugly?
you think every striker ever is fucking ugly. The best ones are, I know.
Is he ugly? And he's from
He's not the sort of player you'd have a shirt of.
Okay, yeah. So is he from like the eastern country?
He's
like,
from Israel.
Yossi something. Yossi. What's his name? I can't remember his last name. I know what you're on about though.
It's Yossi Benayoun.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, Benayoun, of course.
Guys, I thought you'd have got that.
No.
Right. What are we saying? Are we done, or do you want me to do the last 2 I've got?
Bro, this is your room. You made an effort. Like, let's go.
Exactly. Let's. I can tell right now.
Am I getting that point? Am I getting that point?
Yeah, you're getting that point. We should do these more often, though. These are a laugh.
Yeah, well, obviously I have to make the effort. Anyway, this one is I think also a good shot if you guys getting it. I say this before, and you guys feel even more pressure than when I say this.
I know.
Yeah, it's right. You'll definitely get this next round. He says the club, we're all just like.
Okay. Here we go. 1996 to 1997. This player scored 1 goal in 10 games for Paris Saint-Germain. In 1997 to 1999, he scored 23 goals in 65 games for Arsenal. In the 1999 to 2000, he scored 2 goals in 19 games for Real Madrid. In 2000 to 2002, he scored 10 goals in 39 games when he was back at Paris Saint-Germain. He had a loan spell at Liverpool, scoring 4 goals in 20 games in 2001, 2002. He then moved to Man City, scoring 37 goals in 89 games. He then moved
What year was that, sorry, the Man City?
2002 to 2005. He then had 1 season at Fenerbahce.
I'm going to go for Nicolas Anelka.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yoki, mate. Are you looking at your computer?
No, I'm making notes on my fucking notepad.
It sounds like you've
Typing away, like.
He's got his Siri
Bro,
on. He's got his Siri on. He's just fucking.
Sorry, let me just say the
listening
next team. And he then scored 21 goals in 53 games for Bolton Wanderers. Right.
For Bolton.
Big up the Bolton.
Saved his career. Right. Last one. So that
It was
does that
the
make
French PSG connection that did it for me.
Yeah. And is that what the Google recognized, was it?
Yeah, man.
I'll be honest.
then-
That's what Google told me.
Last one. To sudden death. Nath, you can get involved.
All to play for. All to play for.
Now
I know you have-
let's go for winner takes all, just so it's got a bit of something for everyone.
Yeah. Nath, you haven't played any of the other rounds. Get involved in this one. So
I didn't think I was involved. Sorry, I've just been sat here watching. I was enjoying myself. I thought I was a crowd for a minute.
this is tough. This is fucking tough.
Let's go.
Well,
GG,
we're not going to
lads.
get it,
Yeah.
are we?
GG,
Right.
lads.
Let me get my
1999.
Google ready.
1999. This England international. I'm giving you hints already. That's how fucking worried I am. 1999 to 2005. He scored 26 goals in 150 games for Man City. Go on. Sorry. If you're listening to this, that sounded awful. Yoki just made that lunge to the microphone as if he was going to say it off the first one.
No, I was going to ask for the years again. I've already forgotten. 1999 to what?
99 to 2005, wasn't it?
2005. And so, just say that line again. Sorry.
1999 to 2005, Man City, England international. Maybe not at this point, but 153 games, 26 goals. He then scored 4 goals in 82 games for Chelsea in the 2005 to 2008. He then moved back to Man City and scored 9 goals in 64 games, 2008 to 2011. He then moved to Queen's Park Rangers, scoring 1 goal in 67 games
Big.
from 2011 to 2015.
Sounds like a fullback.
I'm not even making notes. I've already forgotten where we were. So Man City,
We're talking
English
straight,
international.
yeah.
Then
Man
he went
City.
Strikers on midfielders.
I'm not
or-
making notes anymore because he just accused me of cheating.
Man City, Chelsea, Man City, QPR. And then he moved to New York Red Bulls. England
Yo, I've got
international.
someone in my mind and I just can't think of his name. Oh,
yeah, I feel like I should. I don't know because you said it was a hard one.
It's a hard one because he's just not played at many clubs. But I used to love him.
It
as
makes
a
it easier,
player.
isn't it?
did he finish?
great
Did
player.
he finish at Rebels?
No, he finished at Phoenix Rising the next year. So his career was done. So let's go for the clues. He scored on his England debut. I remember watching it. 2004, I think, 2005 against Ukraine. He has a famous dad.
Oh, Sean Wright Phillips.
Yeah.
No, that's what I was thinking of. That's what I was thinking of. No.
Join us next week for the next edition of
Oh, passion.
the top 4
I can see
podcast
his
quiz.
face. I can see his face. Oh,
The top 4 podcast quiz. Oh, well, that was. I enjoyed it. I don't think any of you boys did.
That was stressful, to be fair.
No,
That
no,
was
I'm up for
stressful.
that. That's a laugh. I like it.
So, Pash, Nath, as you got the least, you've got to come next week with the quiz, or maybe not
Cool.
next week, but the next time we do a quiz, you got to come with the.
I like how you said my name and he went, nah, and let Nave do it.
Well, no, because I was thinking, you know what? I don't want Pash presenting it and saying he's better than me, so I want to fucking beat him
Yeah,
in the
fair.
next one.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, look, lads, we talked loads. We said we were going to talk loads after Euros. It's been a lot of fun. It's still fucking boiling. Just so you know, in case you tune in for the weather. But yeah, always been a pleasure. Looking forward to getting involved in getting more in-depth chat about some of the football headlines leading up to the Premier League season. And remember, if you support a team that no one likes, get in contact with us because we want you on the podcast. We want to talk about the other clubs. So if you're not a Man United or Liverpool fan, get in contact.
Or Bolton.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we're not going to talk about Bolton. Unless you
We're
want to do it
crying
on
out for
Bolton.
them.
We can do a Bolton podcast.
Mate,
Yeah,
I
we
feel like
can-
we should just for you. Do you know what I mean? I'm more than happy
Yeah.
to.
I'm keen.
Yeah.
Especially
But yeah, you've been listening to VARguably the best football podcast, the top football podcast. Make sure to subscribe, share, all of that. Boys, take it easy.